Let's take a look. Let me write down the, oh, it's good. The second one gonna be square root of the third one gonna be fourth. And of course, we learn a lot of derivative, right? Derivative, we write down here. And derivative of x equals 1, that's a special case. I also forget the derivative for constant equals 0, right? And we learn the constant rule. Constant rule, keep the constant the same. Okay. And the very special case will be for the this guy, right? Keep the constant, do the derivative for the x to the power n. And of course, whatever like that is some difference rule. In 9, we learned we also learned the exponential function that equals itself. 10, we learned the product rule. And product rule can be written out this way. Y equals fx times sx. For example, we have two functions times together. That means we do the derivative for the first function times this. Okay, so that's what we learned. And I put all the formulas here again. Okay. Now, the first things I want you guys to try this one for me. Fx okay, find the derivative of this guy.
It's still blurry.
Dr. Cody, it's blurry. I can't see what example 1 says.
How about other students? Can you see it?
No, sir. I can't really see it. Okay, I could see it fine now. Thank you, Dr. Cody.
Yeah, it's much better.
Okay, let me do it on board. For this guy, the first step, we're gonna simplify this guy, right? This guy. For this guy, we can write down as what? It's x to the power 1/3, right? Formula 2, right? Formula 2. And then in the denominator, we're gonna use formula 1, right? Now that is two functions times together. We're gonna use the product rule. Product rule. So for the product rule, we're gonna have what? We're gonna have do the derivative for the first function plus do the derivative for the second function, right? So do the derivative for the first function times second function plus the first function times the derivative of second function, right? That's the product rule. Now, unless you apply for the product rule, then you can do the derivative for each term, right? Here we just do this derivative and do this derivative. And then for the first one, you guys, I think, pretty familiar. That is equals to self, right? And of course, here is -4/3 e to the power x. And of course, here is -1/3. Okay. And for this guy, since we know that the exponent is negative, that means what? That means we can put it in the denominator. So here ex to the in the numerator, we can write down it like that, right? Denominator, put everything, put this guy to the denominator, positive. And e 1 times e to the power x, e to the power x. And put this guy to the denominator. Okay.
Would it still be correct if you just used the cube root of x, putting it in the denominator for s of x?
Cubical root. What do you mean cubical root?
Well, what I meant was like s of x. If I just left it as e to the x over the cube root of x, would that still be okay? Or would that not be right?
Cubic x should be cubic x to the power 4. Like that.
No, for s of x, not f of x.
S over the x. Which line is the first line or the last line? This one?
Never mind.
So you mean here, ex to the power cubic like that? You mean second?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You can write down it this way. Okay, you can write down like that. Okay, if you want. Let's continue. Fx try this one for me. Guys, please type your full name in the chat. I want to check your attendance. Thank you. Nice. Now, let me write down the answer for you guys. Okay. So for this one, we have what? We have right the second formula, and then we're gonna use the third formula, right? And then we can use the first formula. After you get this one, everything will gonna be very straightforward, right? Again, we can do the derivative using the product rule. Product rule. Okay, and then we're gonna have what? We're gonna have like that. And the first one gonna be like that. Second one gonna be right. And I think here is a negative. Negative, you always can put it in the denominator. So you put this guy 3 times e to the power x. Denominator gonna times together. All right, and put it here. Here. That's it. That's it. Now I want to add some constants in the examples. Okay, I would like to add some constant, make the problem a little bit more complicated. Okay, now let's take a look with this guy. Fx okay, now try this one for me. Okay, now let me write down the answer for you guys. The first step, still we're gonna simplify this guy. So 2 over x we can write down as 2x to the power -1. You guys should agree, right? Because 1 over x, that's the formula 1, right? Formula 1. 1 over x is going to be x to the power -1. Okay. So basically, we have 2 functions. One is this guy, one is this guy. Okay. Then we use the product rule. Product rule going to be the first function times the derivative of the second function. Right? Now, for each derivative, you should be able to calculate it, because for this guy is constant multiply property, right? Keep the constant the same, just do the derivative for the x to the power -1. And for this guy, equals itself, right? So it's very straightforward. Keep the constant, do the derivative for this guy. Because derivative of this guy equals itself. And for this guy, you are very familiar with it, right? Now, what are you gonna get? Here 2, -2. And here, since we have x to the power -2, gonna be a denominator. And this guy we can put in the denominator because it's -1, right? That's it. That's it. Now I want you guys to try this one for me. 3 times square root of x, okay? Two over 3 times square root of x, okay? You guys know the constant multiply property, right? Okay. We did so many examples before. Okay, now let me write down the answer for you guys. For this guy, we have what? We have 2 over 3 x to the power 1/2. All right, and then again, you can see here's x to the power 1/2 in the denominator. Denominator gonna be right. You can put remove this guy from the denominator. Denominator gonna be a negative, right? Formula 2 or formula 1. So then you can use product rule. That's the first term. That's the second term, right? Okay. Please put the prime. That means the derivative. Some of you just miss this prime. That means just 2 functions times together. Right? In your writing, you need to put a prime there. That means derivative. Okay, keep it professional. So for this guy, it's a constant multiply property. We'll always keep a constant the same, right? Do the derivative for the function. That's it, right? And for this guy, it equals itself. That's the easiest one, and we only do the first one. And so we can simplify this guy. 2 times 1 is 2. Here's a negative. 2 cancel out. So it's negative 3, 1, x, 3 over 2, e to the power x. Okay, so here's a negative. That means 3x. And 1 times e to the power x should be e to the power x. And you also can put here is negative 2, put it in the denominator. Right? it. Or you can write down is square root of x, right? Square root of x, just like this guy, right? The original one. Right? Square root of x, 2 times 2 times e to the power x, right? Divided by 3 square root of x. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys the last example like that. Last example. hx. Try this one for me. Okay, now let me write down the answer on board. For this guy, we can write down it this way. Right. Right. The first formula, the second formula, the third formula, and again, we got this guy, right? And then we can continue to simplify it. We remove this guy from the denominator. Denominator gonna be the first formula. Okay. Now after get this one, everything should be very straightforward. Just use the product rule. So we have right, and again we have what? Negative 409 4, 3 times 3, 9, negative. Okay, since we have negative exponent, we can put it in the denominator. Okay, that's it. That's it. Now, today we're gonna learn another special case. Here we have a polynomial times the exponent function, exponential function. Today we're gonna have two polynomial function times together. How to calculate the derivative? For example, how to calculate this multiplication. Okay, there's a way. The first way, what are you gonna do? Just use the distribution. You do the distribution. 2x times x plus 2x times 1. You're gonna get 4x squared plus 2x. Then you can use the sum rule or difference rule. Okay, you do the derivative for each term. However, if you want to use the product rule, let's take a look. We can treat this guy as the first term, and treat this guy as the second term. Okay, now let's take a look. Do the derivative for the first term times second term, 2x times the derivative of second term. Okay, so we're gonna do the derivative twice. One for this guy, one for this guy, right? Now, for this guy, we use what? Use constant multiply property. Just do the derivative for the x. Okay, and for this guy, we're gonna use the sum rule, right? X plus 1. If we do the derivative for the x plus 1, we're gonna do the derivative for each term, right? X plus 1. So do the derivative for this guy, do the derivative for the 1, right? Okay. What's the derivative for the x? 1. Very good. Good job. That means you memorize it. Good job. So derivative of x equals 1. What's the derivative for 1?
0.
Good job. Good job. Okay. So distribution 2x plus 2, 2x. You're gonna get 4x plus 2. That's it. Okay. Now I'm gonna give you guys an example. Let you guys try it. Fx equals, for example, I have a polynomial. 4x squared times x plus 1. Try to use the product rule to calculate this derivative. Okay. Okay, now let me write down the answer for you guys. You're done, right? So we're gonna treat this guy is one term, this guy is a second function, right? So we have derivative for the first function plus derivative of second function. That's it, right? And then what are you gonna do? For the first term, keep the constant the same. Do the derivative for the x squared. You're gonna get 2x to minus 1. For the second term, you're gonna do the derivative for each term. Right? That's a sum rule. Okay. 8x x plus 1 for x squared, and we have distribution 8x that's it. Okay, distribution. Now let's continue. Let's move on. If I give you like that, now everything will become more complicated. Okay. Now, if I give you this polynomial function times this 2x plus 3 polynomial function, how to calculate the derivative? The same strategy. You treat this guy as the one function, and this guy is the second function. Okay. Use the product rule. Solve it. Okay, let me do it on board. So for this guy, the same things. Okay, the same things. And for this guy expression 2x minus 1, derivative of this guy gonna be a derivative for each term, right? And for this guy gonna be a derivative for each term. Right? Because that's the sum rule. So we have two terms. Or this is difference rule. This is sum rule. So will be a 2x derivative minus 1 derivative. And now for the first term, there's a constant. We're gonna keep the constant the same, right? And we're gonna do the derivative for the x. The advantage of you guys, you already remember this derivative. Derivative of x gonna be 1, right? So 2 times 1. Derivative of constant is 0. Um, 2x minus 1. The same things. Derivative of 2x, here the 2 is a constant, right? Derivative times of x is 1. Right? And then you can simplify it. Here's a 2, going to be 2x minus 1. Right? 2 times 1 is 2, plus 0 is 2. Okay. Now distribution. We have 4x, 2 times 3 is 6. 4x, 2 times negative 1, negative 2. Okay, I jump a little bit. 8x plus 4. Okay, 8x plus 4. Now I want you guys to try again. Okay, let me do it. So we have what? We have first step, write down the product rule. Okay, product rule. So we have what? First term, second term. First term, second term. Right. I just do the derivative for each term. Right. And for the first one, 2x, keep the 2 the same. Derivative of x is 1, right? Derivative of 9 is 0. And for the second one, got x squared. Derivative of x squared going to be 2x. Right? Use the power rule. Okay, now you can simplify it. You have 2x times 2x minus 9. Here's a 2x. Right? Now distribution. 2 times x squared, 2 times 6, 12. 2x times 2x going to be 4x squared. 2x times negative 9, negative 18x. Okay, I jump a little bit. Now we're going to have combine these terms. 6x squared. Okay, that's it. Now I'm going to give you guys the last example. Okay, almost the game over. Okay. Now it's my time. Product rule, right? Derivative of first term times derivative times the second function. The first function times the derivative of the second function. Okay, derivative. So now you're gonna have what? 3x squared for each term, derivative of each term, right? Now, for the first one, keep the constant the same, right? Do the derivative of x squared, you're gonna get 2x, right? Power rule, derivative of x squared, 2x, right? And the derivative of constant equals 0. And for this guy, we should say this guy is 2x, right? This guy is 1. Now you can simplify it. Aha. We got this guy. Right. Now you can use the distribution. And that's the polynomial distribution, right? We have what? 6x cubed, 6x times x squared. 3x squared times 2x gonna be 6x cubed. 3x squared times 1 is 3x squared. Negative 1 times 2x, negative 2x. Negative 1 times 1, negative 1. Okay, distribution. Now you can combine all the terms together. Okay, so that's it.